Then there were certain are people who were very economic nationalist, economic critics of British. उनका भी मैं आपको थोड़ा सा डेटा दे दूंगा, कौन सी बुक लिखी है प्री में पूछा जाता है. Like you remember दादा भाई नेहरू, he was an economic critic. These were those nationalists who exposed the true nature of British by showing their exploitative nature. अभी सबको ये लग रहा था कि ओके यार कंपनी ने ओवरटेक कर दिया, ये लोग रिफॉर्म्स ला रहे हैं. 1850, 1757 after Battle of Plassey से they brought education system, press, they brought legal system, they gave certain rights to the women, they brought certain reforms, no doubt. But a person can. He said, what kind of development you are talking? This is not a development. The reality is, in these 100 years, they drain our resources. And he wrote essay, you remember, India's Debt to English, in which he gave the theory of drain of wealth. तब तक अपने जो लोग आजादी के लिए लड़ रहे थे उनको ये आइडिया नहीं था कि इकोनॉमिकली एक्सप्लॉइट हो रहा है. Then M.G. Ranade, a person from this area, Mumbai area, he was also economic critic. Then Gokhale, he was also a economic critic. They have written some important books under which they expose the true nature of British government. तो ये लोग हम लोग डिस्कस करेंगे किसमें पूरा इकोनॉमिक वाला वन एरिया वुड बी दियर. Second, under Lord Cornwallis, we will discuss his police reform. You know that today police system which we are having, the genesis is laid by whom? Lord Cornwallis. Before this, there was a ruler in medieval history, which you will discuss in medieval history. His name was Sher Shah Suri. Right? You may have heard about this. He brought a certain, development work in our country. One of the important law and order situation was brought by Sher Shah Suri, that he gave a local responsibility of crime to local people, especially village headmen. And in cities, the law and order was maintained by officer that we call Kotwal. अब सिस्टम देखो क्या यूनिक बनाया था बंदे में कि फॉर एग्जांपल दिस इज अ पर्टिकुलर विलेज, यहाँ पर कोई चोरी हो जाता है, मर्डर हो जाता है, कोई भी क्राइम होगा, इट इज द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ऑफ विलेज हेडमैन to bring the culprit in front of government. If village headman fails, तो अगर चोरी हुई होगी तो हाथ किसका कटेगा? विलेज हेडमैन का. मर्डर हुआ होगा तो सर किसका कटेगा? And village headmen are those people, they know each and everything about a particular village. वैसे आज बोला जाता है ना, अपनी पुलिस को सब पता होता है कि पर्टिकुलर एरिया में कौन कैसा है, कब कौन क्राइम करने वाला है, क्राइम करके बंदा कहाँ भागे, सब पता रहेगा, बिकॉज ये उनका काम है. वैसे ही विलेज हेडमैन इज अ पर्सन हु नोज ईच एंड एवरीथिंग ऑफ अ विलेज. बट वन person made a very simple rule. By sub, he knows each and everything. Either you have to bring a culprit, otherwise be ready to bear the consequences or punishment. अब बताओ ऐसे करके क्या क्राइम होगा विलेज में? क्योंकि पूरा थ्रेड किसको जाएगा? विलेज हेडमैन को. That we call these village headmen were known as zamindars. So the local land order responsibility was given to whom? Zamindars by Sher Shah Suri. This system was changed by Lord Cornwallis, and instead of this, he brought a modern police system, under which police stations were set up at interval basis, and a particular police station was headed by an officer called Daroga, जिसको आज लोग हम क्या बोलते हैं? SSC. And a group of police station would made a circle, and circle would be headed by superintendent of police. आज थोड़ा चेंज है. आज जो सर्कल ऑफ पुलिस स्टेशन है, इट इज हेडेड बाय SDPO, सब डिस्ट्रिक्ट, that we call sub commissioner of police. And today whole district is headed by whom? SSP, or you call it, say, the ACP or commissioner system in Mumbai. So this modern police system was created by whom? Lord Cornwallis, under which police station was set up at internal level, and the law and order responsibility was given to whom? Police. और इसलिए अगर आप देखोगे now in modern time police system has been changed because we got a young officer, educated officer, especially through IPS, especially through certain state services. अगर आप अपने पेरेंट्स से, ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स से बात करोगे, these policemen were very danger. क्योंकि इनका मेंटेलिटी कौन था, वही ब्रिटिश वाला था। और ब्रिटिश मेंटेलिटी पुलिस का क्या था, टू कंट्रोल द मासेस and to maintain the extreme law and order situation, and they committed huge and lot of atrocities. But now we got a lot of change. When young people came into the system, they brought lot of reforms into police. Now coming back, so first reform under police was by Lord Cornwallis, under which before this, who was responsible to make law and order, Zamindar, and this system was brought by Sher Shah Suri. Then, my dear friends, he brought reforms in judicial that we call civil service. Although civil service evolved from the Governor Generalship of Warren Hastings, but it was covenanted services. You know, it was covenanted services. Covenanted services means contractual job. तो जो अपना अभी IAS IPS है, ये लोग कंट्रैक्ट के लिए आते थे ब्रिटिश से for 2 years. And these covenanted services were converted into permanent services by whom? Cornwallis. That is why Cornwallis is considered as a father of civil services. Although the civil services were started by whom? Warren Hastings, but it was the contractual job, and it evolved to permanent services by Cornwallis. That is why he is considered as a father of civil services. Initially, my dear friends, the people who came into civil services, they were nominated by the court of directors. There was no open competition, and only close relatives of Queen were allowed to be part of this civil services. They were nominated by whom? Court of directors. And in my comment lecture, I will discuss that there was a governor, there was Lord Wellesley. He brought a Fort William College at Calcutta. The purpose was जिन लोगों को नॉमिनेट किया जाता था उनको इंडिया में लाके, पहले जो हम लोग अभी तैयारी कर रहे हैं ना सिविल सर्विस के लिए, आज आपको एग्जाम क्वालिफाई करने का की ट्रेनिंग खुद करनी है. To maintain discipline, patience, what to study, what not to study, this you have to do. But when it started, all these things were done by whom? Government. They nominated the people, they brought him into Fort William College, और उनको ये सब पढ़ाया जाता था, हिस्ट्री, क्वालिटी, कल्चर, एवरीथिंग. पढ़ाने के बाद देयर वाज एग्जामिनेशन. द पीपल हु क्वालिफाइड एग्जामिनेशन, फिर उनको 1 year का क्या दिया जाता था, फील्ड ट्रेनिंग दिया जाता था एज ए प्रोबेशनरी. Then they were appointed and they were given independent charge. But after that, due to resources and certain other things, government brought a change. Government said no, पहले वाला जो तैयारी है वो तुम खुद करो, और एक बार जब तुम एग्जाम क्वालिफाई कराओगे, एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन की तैयारी हम कराएंगे. That is why consider your preparation as a part of your trade, because initially it was done by whom? Government. Then what happened? The people were nominated by court of directors, and only the close relatives of Queen were nominated. Then people on London, they came on the roads, यार क्यों यार सिविल सर्विस में इंग्लिश को भी तुम नहीं लेते हो. Then 1853 के बाद ओपन कंपटीशन शुरू हुआ. सेंटर्स कहाँ पे रहेंगे? सेंटर वुड बी एट लंदन, and there were certain compulsory languages: Hebrew, Latin, Greek, French. And purpose was to deliberately take away Indian from whom? Civil services. Then they started to recruit the Indians, but to on the subordinate level, to assist the British officials. And I think it was during 19th century, 1861, when first Indian, क्या नाम था उनका, Satyendra Tagore, he qualified the civil services. And then with certain protest exam was started to held in India. Now you can realize, तुम लोगों के लिए एक ही काम तुम लोगों को करना है कि सब कंटिन्यूटी मेंटेन कर लो, पढ़ाई कर लो. एटलीस्ट तुम अलो किए जाते हो. Once upon a time, people were ready to sacrifice everything for these services, but they were not giving the opportunity. And you people today you born in an age where you got opportunity. There's an open competition. All the facilities are available to your doorstep. You just have to commit it 1.5 years of your life, and then short and sure you will get into the services, because this civil service is considered as the golden chain of home government. The bureaucracy, everything. Neta used to come and go for 5 years. Na? After 5 years, there is no guarantee that a particular Neta would come back or not. but you people are there up to your age of retirement. So this we call civil services reform, police reform. Then he brought a reform in what? Judiciary reforms. In judiciary reforms, he brought a 4 Diwani courts at Patna, Dhaka, Murshidabad. Patna, Dhaka, Murshidabad, and some other places. 4 Diwani courts were brought, and Diwani courts were related courts to civil matters. You understand civil matters? Okay, and they brought a 4 circuit courts. And circuit courts were those courts which were related to criminal matters. और फिर यूरोपियंस के लिए क्या रखा हुआ था? सुप्रीम कोर्ट. और इससे पहले वारन हेस्टिंग ने भी कुछ फौजदारी और दीवानी अदालत लाई थी. एंड इफ आई विल टेल यू द हायरार्की ऑफ द बेसिक कोर्ट ड्यूरिंग दिस टाइम वाज द मुंसिफ की अदालत, जो अभी भी है. द बेसिक कोर्ट, सबऑर्डिनेट कोर्ट डिस्ट्रिक्ट में सबसे छोटी अदालत कौन रहती है? मुंसिफ की अदालत, टू लुक आफ्टर द स्मॉल केसेस. Then on the top, it was a court of registrar. Then it was a district court. Then it was a 4 circuit courts and 4 Diwani courts. The head of circuit court was known as Sadri Nizamat. And the head of Diwani court was known as Sadri Diwan. And on the top there was the what? Supreme Court for your palace. Chronology बताओगे जल्दी से जो मैंने बताया? क्या रहेगा? पहले बेसिक रहेगा मुंसिफ की अदालत, ऊपर क्या रहेगा? कोर्ट ऑफ रजिस्ट्रार. फिर क्या रहेगा? डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोर्ट. फिर रहेंगे 4 दीवानी कोर्ट्स. कहाँ पे? कलकत्ता में. वाई कलकत्ता? कैपिटल वाज कलकत्ता टिल 1911. फिर रहेंगे 4 निजामत कोर्ट्स. दीवानी कोर्ट के हेड को क्या बोलेंगे? सदर दीवान. गुड. और निजामत को क्या बोलेंगे? सदर निजामत. Diwali courts were courts related to which matters? Civil. And Nizamat courts were court related to criminal matters. ये रिफॉर्म किसके आ गई अपनी? एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन कम सिविल सर्विसेज रिफॉर्म. ठीक है. नाउ इम्पोर्टेंट एरिया जो हम लोग शुरू करेंगे, पहले आई थिंक बड़ा वाला एरिया हम लोग खत्म करते हैं, दैट इज इकोनॉमिक पॉलिसी. व्हाट यू नो अबाउट जिम्मेदारी सिस्टम? और दिस पहला पॉलिसी कौन सा था? जिम्मेदारी सिस्टम. लेमन लैंग्वेज में समझ लो, फिर मैंने पॉइंट डिजाइन किए हुए, आप लिख लोगे, आपका काम हो जाएगा. जिम्मेदारी देखो क्या लोगों ने किया. टेक दिस होल एरिया एग्जांपल. कंपनी की प्रॉब्लम क्या थी? इशू क्या था? कंपनी का इशू था, कंपनी वाज फेसिंग द प्रॉब्लम ऑफ फ्लक्चुएशन इन इनकम. इनको चाहिए थी कांस्टेंट इनकम. इज इट राइट? नाउ व्हाट दे डन? For example, this is the particular area, right? In this area, what they have done, they took the base year 1765. In economy, there's a concept of base year. Base year का meaning होता है कि for example, this is a farmland और अभी हम बैठे हैं 2025 पे और मैं base year लेता हूँ 2000. विच बीरीज में ये डिसाइड करूंगा कि जितना प्रोडक्शन यहाँ 2000 में हुआ है उसी को मैं कंसिडर करूंगा और उसी बेस पे मैं डिसाइड करूंगा. दैट कंसेप्ट इन इकोनॉमी इज नोन एज व्हाट? बेस ईयर. फॉर एग्जांपल, हियर वी आर कल्टिवेटिंग द राइस एंड इन 2000 हियर द राइस प्रोडक्शन वाज 1 लाख रुपीस का राइस एक साल में हुआ. किस डेट में? 2000 में. मैं अभी आके लैंड मैंने इनके हैंड ओवर कर दी. मैंने कहा भाई साहब इसका प्रोडक्शन 2000 में 1 लाख रुपीस का हुआ है. आउट ऑफ 1 लाख रुपीस यू हैव टू पे मी 50% टैक्स, दैट इज 50,000 रुपीस और 50,000 तुम्हारा रहेगा. ये मैंने फिक्स कर दिया. फिक्स कब कर रहा हूं मैं? 2025 में. बेस ईयर कब बनाया मैंने? जो कि 2000 बेस ईयर बनाने का पर्पस है बिकॉज आई नो इट वाज ए ईयर व्हेन वी हैड ए बम्पर प्रोडक्शन. अब मान लो इन्होंने लैंड मुझसे ले ली 2026 में. इनका टोटल प्रोडक्शन 50,000 ही होता है, बट इनको मुझे कितना पे करना है? मुझे पूरा 50,000 पे करना है बिकॉज आई एम गोइंग टू चार्ज द रेवेन्यू ऑन द बेस ऑफ बेस ईयर. इनका मान लो 30,000 ही का प्रोडक्शन होता है. हाउ मच शी हैज टू पे टू मी? 50,000 ओनली. इनका 60,000 का होता है. हाउ मच दे हैव टू पे मी? 50,000. इनका कुछ भी नहीं होता है. हाउ मच दे हैव टू पे मी? 50,000. So as a company, what benefit I got out of this revenue system? constant and regular income. नाउ सर आप बोलोगे ज्यादा भी हो सकता है, ज्यादा होने के चांसेस आर वेरी लेस, क्योंकि आई हैव टेकन द बेस ईयर जब प्रोडक्शन बहुत ज्यादा हुआ था. सो व्हाट दे डिड इन बंगाल, बिहार एंड उड़ीसा, दे फिक्स द रेवेन्यू ऑन द बेस ईयर ऑफ 1765. और ये सिस्टम को लाया गया 1793 में, लेकिन बेस ईयर क्या फिक्स किया? Could you tell me why they fixed base year 1765? It was a time when Bengal was rich and prosperous, but अभी शुरू हुई थी. बंगाल की प्रोडक्शन बहुत ज्यादा थी और उसके बाद ही डेटोरेट होना शुरू हो गया. सो दे फिक्स बेस ईयर 1765. Under this system, a particular land was given to a person who was made as a owner of land. He was known as zamindar. Land was fixed. Now company would get a constant and fixed income. Whether income इनका कम हो जाए, कुछ नहीं हो जाए, ज्यादा हो जाए, they are going to get a fix. Now as a जमींदार, he has taken this land. ये खुद तो कल्टीवेट नहीं करेगी, ये आगे किसको लगा देगी? लैंडलेस लेबरर्स को लगा देगी. और उन लैंडलेस लेबरर्स से नाउ actually whatever tax would get as zamindar has to report a tax to East India Company, but zamindar would get a commission. और जमींदार एक्सप्लॉइट किसको करेगा? लैंडलेस लेबरर्स को, बिकॉज दे वर नॉट मच एजुकेटेड. ओके, कंपनी साइड के यार जमींदार तुमको 50% इनसे टैक्स लेना है, 50% में से 10% तुम रख लेना, बाकी हमको पे कर लेना. जमींदार में आर गोइंग टू टेक 60%, 70% because peasants were not educated. Here the exploitation started. Another exploitation started. अब अगर कभी प्रोडक्शन नहीं होती है तो पैसा किसको पे करना पड़ेगा? जमींदार को पे करना पड़ेगा. इस जमींदार फेल्स टू पे दिस लैंड रेवेन्यू, दे आर गोइंग टू टेक द जमींदार राइट्स बैक और किसी और को जमींदार बनाएंगे. जमींदार एक्सप्लॉइट किसको करेगा? जो लेबरर्स को, कल्टीवेटर्स को. बाय दिस सिस्टम दे बिकम अ बिट एक्सप्लॉइटेटिव, मोर एक्सप्लॉइटेटिव. नाउ टेल मी अनदर थिंग. शी इज द जमींदार ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर एरिया. As a company, I said her, okay, you have to take the 50% tax from these people, out of which you will get your commission, right? And rest money will go to whom? East India Company. अब जमींदार खुद तो जाएगा नहीं टैक्स कलेक्ट करने के लिए. जमींदार का आगे कौन होगा? डेप्यूटी. अब जो जमींदार का डेप्यूटी होगा, ही इज नॉट ए ऑर्डिनरी पर्सन, वो खुद में भी बहुत बड़ा होगा. वो अपना नया डेप्यूटी रखेगा सामने. जो नया डेप्यूटी होगा वो खुद को भी बहुत कुछ मानेगा, वो एक और डेप्यूटी रखेगा सामने. सो इट बिकम ए चेन ऑफ इंटरमीडिएटरीज, राइट? तो पता चला बीच में 4-5 बंदे आ गए. अब जितना चैन बनेगा 5 लोगों का, हर बंदा अपना एक्सप्लॉइट करेगा. एंड एट द एंड ऑफ डे हु इज गोइंग टू बिकम ए विक्टिम? पेजेंट. एंड बाय दिस अपने यहाँ क्या हो गया? अपने यहाँ देयर वाज ए पोवर्टी इंक्रीज अमंग होम? पेजेंट्स. व्हेन पोवर्टी इंक्रीज अमंग पेजेंट्स, अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट बढ़ना शुरू हो गया. देन अनदर थिंग, कुड यू टेल मी, फॉर एग्जांपल, this zamindar knows, यार, I am the owner of land and my role is only to collect the taxes from these peasants and report to company and I will get my commission, right? जब इनको ये पता है और आड़ी पेजेंट का हालत खराब है, टैक्स रेट बहुत ज्यादा है, this zamindar is not going to bring any innovation into this field. When you are not going to bring innovation, there would be stagnation in agriculture growth. तो अपने यहाँ जो एग्रीकल्चर लैंड, वंस अपॉन ए फर्टाइल लैंड, वंस अपॉन ए रिच इन टर्म्स ऑफ एवरीथिंग, it is going to become the stagnation in our agriculture growth. This is a question in prelims. In 1794, they brought another law which we call Sunset Law. Under Sunset Law, under a given time and date, zamindar has to give the revenue to East India Company, otherwise his zamindari rights could be seized. For example, क्या होगा? लैंड रेवेन्यू ईयर बेस पे उठता है. ईयर बेस में हमने फिक्स कर दिया दिसंबर, 31 दिसंबर, सूरज डूबने से पहले you have to report all the revenue, otherwise your zamindari rights would be seized. इसको क्या बोलते हैं? सनसेट लॉस. यानी पुरानी कहावत नहीं चलती है, सूरज डूबने से पहले ये काम कर देना है. This emerged from where? It emerged from the British. So so what was the, could you tell me? Okay, 1790 initially it was made at 10 year. In 1793 it was made permanent, and since then it is known as permanent system. And why we call it zamindari system? Because zamindar was declared as a owner of land. And what was the responsibility of zamindar? Zamindar has to collect the taxes from the peasants, and zamindar would get कुछ ये था, हाँ, ये 90% जो रेवेन्यू आएगा वो कंपनी को जाएगा, और 10% कमीशन किसको मिलेगा? जमींदार को। बट टेल मी, क्या जमींदार 10% पे एग्री होगा? नहीं, वो एक्सप्लॉइट किसको करेगा? पेजेंट को करेगा। एंड बाद में पता चला कि कंपनी को कम पैसा मिल रहा है, ज्यादा पैसा किसको मिल रहा है? जमींदार को मिल रहा है। जमींदार बिकम रिच, they started to enjoy very luxury life. And you know, when Government of India by First Amendment Act 1951, yes, I got an exact date, when government decided to abolish the zamindari system, तो रातों रात इन जमींदारों की क्या होगी? हालत खराब होगी। They came on streets, right? Because they were enjoying, they were supposed to do nothing. They were enjoying as a middleman. What benefit company got out of this system? Could you tell me? One company got a fixed income. Whether there is some issue, there is a drop, there is some problem, there is less in production, company has nothing to do. What? They will get their fixed income. What another important thing got? They got a loyal group of people. क्योंकि जमींदार का बेनिफिट किससे हो रहा है? ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी से। दे आर गोइंग टू लॉयल टू हूम? East India Company. They got a loyal group of people who are going to help them to separate their administration. This was a benefit got whom? By East India Company. One, they got a fixed income. Second, they got a loyal group which are going to help East India Company to separate their rule. This was another thing, that out of this zamindari system, what the benefit East India Company got. What another benefit they got? They are not supposed to deal thousands of peasants. They have to deal one zamindar. And now how this become exploitative for our farmers? One, if there's a less in production, they have to pay the amount. Third, if the revenue is 50%, technically they have to pay more than 70%. There's a group of intermediaries. If somebody failed, they were using the police force against these poor people. This was another. Now tell me one thing. जमींदार ने इन बंदे को लैंड दी हुई है कि भाई साहब तुम इतना कल्टीवेट करो और इतना पैसा तुमको पे करना है। अब फॉर एग्जांपल क्या हो गया इस बार? कल्टीवेशन, कल्टीवेशन इज रिलेटेड टू नेचर, मॉनसून आल्सो। पता चला बारिश कम होगी और प्रोडक्शन नहीं होगी। अब अगर ये रेवेन्यू पे नहीं करेगा, जमींदार इनसे लैंड छीन लेगा। जमींदार पे नहीं करते तो कंपनी उनसे लैंड छीन लेगी। अब इनको कहीं ना कहीं से पैसे का अरेंजमेंट करना है कि नहीं? अब ये पैसे का अरेंजमेंट कहाँ से करेगा? इंडिया में एक और क्लास आ गई जिसको हम बोलते हैं मनी लैंडर्स। मनी लैंडर्स फॉर दोज पीपल हु आर गिविंग मनी एंड इंटरेस्ट। सुना होगा पुराने सीरीज वगैरह में दिखाते हैं ठाकुर। और ठाकुर ऐसे लोग थे जिनसे एक बार आपने 10 रुपीज ले लिए या 100 रुपीज ले लिए, आने वाली कई जनरेशन आर गोइंग टू बी अंडर डेट ऑफ दीज पीपल, and they have taken the papers of land and everything. So this was the all about whom? Zamindari system. So what we are going to do, I think you start bit, थोड़ा थोड़ा हम लोग लिखते भी हैं, साथ में डिस्कस भी करते हैं. Bit topic is technical, but I have done my best to make it easy for you. Administrative reforms, that we will take. Judicial reforms, revenue reforms, that we will take later up. But we will go with more. Here, land revenue reforms. Okay, put down the economic policies of whom? Economic policies of this topic would be all economic policies till after independence. Each and everything related to economy in one letter. So put down the first heading from 1757. These में कुछ point में अपने से ऐड करता रहूंगा. Heading would be what? Put down the heading British economic policies. Then make a diagram. First would be British land revenue policies. Although they were there, so you put down this line. This period begin with the British land revenue policies. This period begin with the British control after the Battle of Plassey in 1757. and ended with first major Indian revolt of 1857 against colonial rule. यहाँ से लिख लेना, ऊपर का हेडिंग मैंने आपको बता दिया. During these years, British policies transformed India's agriculture industry वाला भी हम लोग डिस्कस करेंगे, and trade in the ways that benefited whom? British. पहले आपने लिखा ब्रिटिश इकोनॉमिक पॉलिसी, सेकंड आपने लिखा ब्रिटिश लैंड रेवेन्यू पॉलिसी. तो पहले हम लैंड रेवेन्यू पॉलिसी पर करेंगे, उसके नीचे यहाँ से लिखो this period began with the British control after Battle of Plassey in 1757 and ended with first major Indian revolt of 1857 against colonial rule. Then third would be during these years, British policies transformed India's agriculture industries trade in the way that benefited the empire. First, we will come on their land revenue policy. Then we will come on different phases of their industry. As I mentioned you, the land revenue policies were three important land revenue policies were there. One, you know about a particular policy, then all combined you must have is the whatever their impact on our economy. So during Lord Cornwallis time, we got a weak economic policy, permanent settlement or zamindari system. As I told you, why we called it permanent settlement, because the arrangement between East India Company and the zamindar was made permanent. Up to independence yahi rahega. That is how we call permanent. Why we call it zamindari system? Because the owner of land was declared home as a zamindar. And let me tell you one important thing in this policy, that before this, ये कब आया था 1973 में, this was question in examinations. Before this, land was considered as a property of government. Right from Maurya's time, Gupta's time, to Muslim rulers, sultans and Mughal rulers, land was considered as a property of government. There was no private ownership of land. And the private ownership of land in India was started by the British when they brought this system during the time of Lord Cornwallis. Today we are buying and selling the land. Now, this ownership of land exactly started on this date. Before this land was considered as a property of government. और अभी भी आप देख लोगे, अगर किसी जगह पे कोई डेवलपमेंट काम हो रहा है, रोड बनने वाला है, रेलवे बनने वाला है, वहां किसी नेता की लैंड हो, किसी गरीब आदमी की लैंड हो, you cannot deny to give your land to government. Why? Because it was considered something property of state right from ancient time. But credit goes to British who gave a private ownership of land to common people when they brought this system, permanent settlement. It was introduced by whom? Cornwallis 17 through permit the that fixes the state's demand for land revenue permanently without any provision for fixed the rent or occupancy right to actual cultivator, which means they fixed the land परमानेंट, राइट. और इसमें एक पॉइंट मैं आपको ऐड करा दूंगा, यही नहीं था, अब कितना आपको टैक्स पे करना है, कितनी कल्टीवेशन हुई है, वो अपने को कैसे पता चलेगा? फॉर दैट दे मेड अ बेस ईयर 1765. बेस ईयर में अगर 1 लाख रुपीज का प्रोडक्शन हुआ होगा, सो दे आर गोइंग टू टेक अ टैक्स ऑन दैट 1 लाख रुपीज, वेदर इट इज गोइंग टू इंक्रीज और डिक्रीज. The land revenue was collected from the farmers by intermediaries known as whom? Zamindar. Zamindar himself was not supposed to pay a tax. He was declared as the owner, as an intermediate person. Farmer collect करेंगे and they have to collect the revenue and pay to whom? Government. The share of government total revenue was collected by Zamindar was kept at 10 by 11 with remainder going to Zamindar. 10 by 11 and with remaining, which means if I will calculate this, at least 90, yes, 90%. Agar 50% was a tax which a cultivator has to pay, 50% में 90% will go to whom? East India Company, and 10% as a zamindar. But you do not need to remember 90 and 10. You remember this 10 by 11. This is for your understanding. I am breaking it up. So for example, 1 lakh rupees का प्रोडक्शन यहाँ से हो रहा है. इसमें कल्टीवेटर को पे कितना करना है? 50,000. Who will collect this 50,000 on behalf of company? Zamindar. And Zamindar will keep 10% and 40% they will give to whom? East India Company. The system aimed to create a loyal class of landlords to improve agricultural production, simplifying tax collection for obviously company got a huge benefit. They got a loyal class. They are not supposed to deal thousands of pages. They have to deal one person. We call whom? Zamindar. It was most prevalent in West Bengal, Bihar, Orissa, UP, Andhra Pradesh, and this is important question. It led to increase the improvement of the tenure cultivators due to high assessment, causing many zamindars to lose their lands and contributing to rise of intermediaries which burnished the pleth of peasants. वही जो चैन मैंने बता दिया, जमींदार ने अपना डेप्यूटी, उसने अपना डेप्यूटी, उसने अपना डेप्यूटी. At the end of the day, the peasant who was supposed to pay 50%, he is paying more than 50%.